Órale, Cholo Trucker Mas movies and shows, and here we got the Menendez brothers on Netflix, the documentary, not to be confused with the so-called, finger quotes, docu-series Monsters. Okay, this is an actual documentary, and it is just a little under 2 hours long. Now, there's quite a few different documentaries out there about the Menendez brothers. This is the latest one. This one came out on, shoot, I just said October 7th, right, of 2024, on Netflix. And I gotta tell you guys this, man. Look, I have watched a lot on the Menendez brothers. Okay. I was around when this whole thing went down. I remember their case. I was young, but I remember everybody talking about it. And at that time, when everything was going down, I remember everybody, not believing them. I remember everybody saying that, hey, they're greedy bastards. And to a certain degree, some people, believe that. And that may be true. Look, I do plan on doing a live to talk a little bit about this, just because I know, people really have strong feelings about it. But at that time, at least, I remember my family and everybody, like I said, I was young, but I remember everybody just really hating these these two young dudes, man. And but anyway, the documentary itself. All right, so man, how many documentaries are there? There's quite a few. I know I've seen at least two before this one. At least I'm thinking maybe three. I'm not even really sure. I'm not even really sure what you consider a documentary because there's like hour long, I guess, so-called documentaries on YouTube that you could find as well. I don't know if you count those, but I've seen throughout the years, I've seen a lot of the Menendez brothers. Okay, I've seen a lot when it comes to, their case, their story. I can't tell you guys I'm an expert. I'm not. It was just really, really, really interesting to me, their case and everything. But I'm not some huge over the hill fanatic where I know every single detail because I don't. All right. Um, but I have seen a lot. I haven't seen everything, but I have seen a lot. Um, and by the way, the series on Netflix, Monsters, is getting a lot of it's getting, a lot of pushback. Heck, even Eric came out and said that, hey, it's disgusting. Like, what the heck, man? Not in those words, or maybe something to that term. I'm not really sure, but he wasn't happy with it. I guess a little bit of the family was really upset with it. Fans, I don't know if I should call them fans or whatever, man. Anyway, nonetheless, people didn't like the monster show. Look, I liked it. I thought it was really capturing and intriguing. And I said in almost every episode, I am not talking about what's real, what's not real. Okay. I just found it very interesting. Okay. Now, but here, the documentary, which is almost 2 hours long, I think it's like an hour and 54 minutes long, somewhere around there. Uh, it was probably the best documentary I've ever seen when it comes to the Menendez brothers. You got both of them talking through the phone, obviously. Hey, by the way, I'd like to know, can there not be a camera to go and get these guys in person? There's been multiple shows that go into prison and talk to prisoners. Hell, I don't know the name of them. Like locked up. I don't know if one is called Lock Up but there's like Discovery, and there's been multiple different shows that have gone into prisons and sat down and talked to prisoners. So that's why I'm kind of like, okay, how come they're not able to do that with Eric and Lyle? Um, I've seen different shows, or documentaries, whatever you want to call them, where they sit down and talk to people that are on death row. They've talked to people that are doing life without the possibility of parole. They've talked to people that are in there for, murder. And, they've even gone to places where dudes are completely 5150, homie, like straight psycho, dog. Like, I remember they interviewed some guy who killed some little girl and he was eating her brain. He cracked her head open and he was eating her brain. And they interviewed that dude. So I don't know. I mean, if it comes out on TV or something about the Menendez brothers, I'll go ahead, I'll check it out. If there's something on YouTube worth watching, I'll go ahead, I'll check it out. But I don't go and do research or anything of that sort. Um, you know, dive deep into what's going on with them or anything of that sort, man. I don't. But I always found it strange. Like, how come we could never get them on camera? Outside of that, what was it? Barbara Walters back when they were young, when they were young. Like, how come there's footage or pictures of them, but how come you can't get a sit down with them for a documentary? I don't get it. There's many documentaries out there with murders and killers and dudes on death row and life. So that's odd to me. But nonetheless, man, look, this is probably the best documentary I've ever seen. And I remember watching and pushing pause because I know I had realized a lot of time had gone by. I didn't realize how long it was, but it didn't feel like it was a long time, but I knew like a long time had passed. And I paused it and I said, damn it, there's only less than 10 minutes left. And I didn't want it to end because it was just so damn good. It was just so damn good. So you do got the brothers talking, not in person, through the phone, which we've seen before. There was that documentary on Peacock with the one of the members from Menudo, and that was good as well. But there's life to this case, and I do plan on doing a live. I didn't really want to do it on this channel. I wanted to do it on my Cholo Trucker channel. Maybe I'll do it on both. But nonetheless, look, let's talk about this documentary just for a second. Okay, so um, the one that's really getting backlash is the prosecutor in the case, which is Pamela Bazanik. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Homegirl right here. Now, this is not the first time I see her. I do remember her when she was young and she was in the courtroom, right? Trying to prosecute Eric and Lyle. Now, she was in the case in the first trial um, when she was unsuccessful. Okay, she was unsuccessful. That's why there had to be a second trial because it was the jury was just locked. Okay, they couldn't come to a conclusion. Now we later find out that it was like, oh, well, the men wanted them guilty, the women wanted them not guilty. Um, Now she has been in other documentaries. I know I've seen her in another documentary, younger than what she looks here. And I remember what she said there. What she had said there in that documentary, I don't know what the name of the documentary is. The other one. This one it's easy, the Menendez brothers on Netflix. But of the other documentary I seen, I remember it ended with her saying they're locked in prison doing life exactly where they should be. Okay. But at that time, this is years ago, at that time, the Menendez brothers story wasn't as hot as it is right now. Right now, it's like burning red hot. Everybody's all over it. You could just type it in. You could just type in the Menendez brothers on YouTube. There are probably like 5, 10 different channels that are named after the Menendez brothers case, the Menendez brothers story, fighting for the Menendez brothers. And it's all updated. It's all from 1 day ago, 22 hours ago, 15 hours ago, 53 minutes ago. It's like going on, like it is red hot right now. Everybody's all over this. Well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are all over this, as opposed to when that other documentary came out. It wasn't that popular, but I remember her. It seems like she's willing. She's willing to go on any documentary whenever they invite her, and she doesn't hold back. And on this one, she didn't hold back either. At one point, she was on camera with her dog across her lap. You know, I don't have TikTok. Okay, I do not have TikTok, but apparently, according to her, there's some huge TikTok movement, and she said it on this documentary that the only reason why this documentary is happening is because of the TikTok movement. If any of you guys have TikTok and can vouch for that, let me know. I'm not on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, and I don't think I'm not interested in having TikTok. So she threatens the TikTokers, talking about that she's strapped, homie. She's got cuetes all around the pad, and she lets it be known. I got guns all over the house, right? But man, at least everything I'm seeing on YouTube, man, she's becoming public enemy number one, right, for the Menendez brothers. But so she's definitely an interesting figure for this documentary. She's always held tight to what she believes, saying that they were not molested and that they're just rich, spoiled, rotten brats. But there is something that she said differently in this documentary that I've never heard her say before. All right. And at least maybe it's a little bit of a turn. Now, does she come off a little bit bitter? Yeah, yeah, she does. I don't know if she really took it personal that she did not win the case. She didn't lose the case either, right? But I don't know if she took it. I guess she's like really bitter about that. But I will say that one thing that has changed that I've never heard her say ever, right, is that she does believe that Kitty and Jose were horrible parents. And I'm not saying this verbatim, but she alluded to it because she said something that they're bad parents or something like that because they raised two greedy, spoiled brats that were capable of murder. I don't think I've ever heard her say that. Now, maybe she's been on record to say that, and I've never heard her say that, but she's always stuck with Eric and Lyle are liars. They were never molested. They were never this. They were never that. They just killed their parents strictly for greed and the money. But on this documentary right here, okay, now I could be wrong because, like I said, maybe she said it on something else, but at least on this one right here, she was able to go as far as saying, like, hey, you know what? Jose and Kitty basically did a horrible job in parenting. They weren't good parents because they raised these two guys who were capable of murder. So there you go. All right, but she's always held on to her belief in that. Okay, whether she's not willing to listen or whether she look, man, I don't really have any anger towards her. If that's what she believes, that's what she believes. She's not the only one, right? She's not the only one that believes that. There's people that believe that they are lying. Another one is their uncle. All right, but they also have some family members who really believe them. Um, one thing that I like in this documentary, they showed Dr. Oziel up there. Now he does not come out. That would be a character that would be good to get. But the one that really got to me is seeing his mistress once again. Shoot, Judalon Smith. Just them going back and showing the real Judalon Smith, taking the stands. I'm like, wow, man. This chick was a complete nutcase. Like, wow, a complete nutcase. But look, overall, I enjoyed the documentary. I thought it brought a little bit of peace to the people that were really, really apoplectic about the monster series that apparently was just made to see, to show different aspects of it. Like, hey, this could have happened, that could have happened, that could have happened, right? But this documentary, I think, kind of did a little bit more justice. Um, and, look, man, this is going to remain a red hot topic all the way to the end of November. So I do plan on doing a live, and we'll definitely talk a little bit about it, man, because it is something that I am really interested in. I'm not talking about the documentary itself, but just the case itself and where it stands now. It is something I'm interested in. But nonetheless, what's your guys' thoughts about the Netflix documentary? Again, not the show. We already reviewed the show episode by episode. Now I'm talking about the documentary, the Netflix documentary of the Menendez brothers. I think it was the best documentary I have seen on them yet, and we'll see. We'll see what's up with the Menendez brothers, man. But I really enjoyed this Netflix series. I think it's worth sitting down and watching the 2 hours. I was intrigued the entire way. And this chick right here, she really brought out the bad emotions on a lot of people. But what's your guys' thoughts on the Netflix documentary, The Menendez Brothers? Cholo Trucker, Mass Movies and Shows. Catch you guys on next one.